first guest, folks, is one of the most gifted actors in the world today. He's nominated for an Academy Award for Best Actor for his performance in the critically acclaimed film Gods and Monsters. It gives me great pleasure to welcome Sir Ian McKellen. Thank you so much for being here. This is a treat for us.
I would not have missed this most sophisticated of versions of your show that I've ever seen. I mean, dry, facial skin, and a man mounting a sheep.
Yes.
And Andy Richter. I mean, it's amazing.
This is
what happened to Max? Where did Max go?
Max took off. He ran away. We can't find him.
I always suspected that Max has a sort of key in the back that someone has to wind up. Is that right? And someone lost the key.
He has a style, yeah. No, he has a definite style. He's out on the road with Bruce Springsteen, and he'll be back.
And that gay cow. What happened to the gay cow?
The gay cow is still here.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Can
we get the gay cow in here? He'll find the gay cow. You know, I want to say it's a big thrill to meet you. And I was in London a number of years ago. I saw you do Richard III. It was amazing.
Sure, thank you.
It was fantastic. And now, of course, you're up for an Oscar. Are you keeping it out of your mind, or are you thinking about the fact that you know, who am I up against, and what are my chances of winning?
Well, I don't know. People keep saying, have you written a speech? Well, of course, you have to write a speech in case you win, don't you? You feel stupid. Except one year in London for the equivalent of the Tonys there, the Olivier Awards, and I knew I was going to get it because I'd given the performance of the year. I thought everyone had told me I was going to get it. I'd written the speech. It was sitting in there waiting. And they said, the best actor is Oliver Ford Davis, and I got out of my chair, and I said, hang about, I'm not called Oliver Ford Davis. And meanwhile, this guy was getting up on stage and making a speech, accepting my award. And my friends had to pull me back into the seat, and I thought, what's gone wrong here? Because you're so hyped to believe that you could win.
You so think you're going up there.
And then I thought, oh, my God, of course they're going to give me a Lifetime Achievement Award. But... no, they didn't do that either. So
you have terrific reserves of confidence. That's great.
I know. So I'm feeling quite up about the Oscars. We'll see.
That'd be terrific. It'd be a good time. And
Tom Hanks can't win 3 times in a row, can he?
No.
Promise me that.
There's not room in his house for another one.
Good.
So I think,
you heard it on this show, really.
Exactly. Yeah. There's no way that Tom Hanks. People loathe that guy. He's hated and despised. He's so icy and cold. No, I think you have... I don't want to jinx it. I think some people are very superstitious. We had Gwyneth Paltrow on the show, and I started to bring it up. She can't even have anyone around her talk about it because
I'm very
she's
happy
so
to hear that I'm going to win. Very happy.
You're going to win. You'll see. Let's talk a little bit. You commented about our show, and there's gay cow and different coarse things in the program. The United States television is invading Britain. It has invaded Britain for quite some time. You get Jerry Springer over there, isn't that right?
I think he's about to come over there, yeah.
Baywatch? Do you get Baywatch?
I dare say somebody gets Baywatch, not in my house.
Okay. Baywatch is floating around. I think it's pretty much... But Britain has supplied us with the Spice Girls, so I feel like there's an evening of the scale. Have you actually...
Spice Girls, yeah.
Have you worked with them? Have you met them?
You're asking a gay man, is he interested in the Spice Girls?
Well, I mean, no, I said, have you worked with them? Have you, you know?
No, I haven't worked with them yet, no.
Have you seen them around? Do they ride around London in a bicycle built for 5? I mean, how does it...
There are only 4 of them now.
There's a 5th seat,
There's a 5th, and there are 5.
I'm covering for not knowing what the hell I'm talking about.
Okay. No, well, I did see them once. They were on a TV show with Elton John, who's a friend of mine, so I was there supporting him and watching. And he had various guests, like Sting and so on, all very good stuff. And then he said, now some special guests, and these 5 girls got up. Well, where'd they come from, God knows. I mean, they looked absolutely dreadful. They'd come in really old... really old clothes, and they stood up, and they couldn't move, and they couldn't sing. They were lip syncing, and they got it wrong, you know. And they had to do it all over again. And I said, well, isn't that wonderful of him to give these girls a chance? And of course, they're the biggest thing in showbiz. I've never heard of it.
You thought it was a charitable act on his part?
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Wonderful girls, though, I understand. You've spent quite a bit of time in the United States over the years. What is it about this country that's the hardest thing for you to get used to? Because Got to be a lot of differences.
Yes, it's the ID, actually. You're constantly having to present evidence that you are who you are, you know. It's not enough that you're just standing there. I went to Gay Pride in L.A. a couple of years ago, and I was let into the enclosure where the drinks are happening, and everyone's there with their shirts off. It's very nice. I was the oldest person there, of course. And I tried to get a margarita and was told, no, I had to go and get some ID first, which involved stamping my wrist to prove that I existed, and then I could buy a drink. So I got in line for the ID, and eventually it was my turn. He said, had I got my ID? I said, well, no, here I am. I just want my wrist stamped. No, he said, you've got to have some photo ID. I said, well, I don't carry my passport around. Look. I said, why do you need it anyway? He said, well, to prove that you're over 18.
Nice.
Well, I said, just look at me. No, I was not allowed to get a drink, so the 16-year-old that I was with, who had false ID, bought me a drink.
That's the great thing about this country, though, is that we're the leaders in false ID.
Yeah.
You know,
on Monday, I got an award in Chicago from the film critics there, and I was staying at a fabulous hotel, spent the evening with Spielberg and Kathy Bates and Kate Blanchett, and I was feeling on top of the world, and got my award, which was a very handsome glass thing. So heavy, I didn't know what to do with it. Am I going to take it back to England with me? Well, I better at least take it up to the bedroom. And I tried to, but suddenly realized I didn't have my key. I was staying in this hotel where I'd been called, you know, the greatest actor that had ever lived. And so I went to...
that was what the award said? Greatest actor who ever lived, yeah.
Change it. So,
you changed.
I went up to reception and said, I don't have the key to my room. I've left it up there. Can I have a substitute? He said, have you got ID? I said, well, I'm Ian McKellen. He said, no, but can you prove it? Have you got ID? Well, of course, I had nothing on me, so I undid the box, undid the ribbon, took out the tissue paper and presented him with the award, which said, best actor of the word, Ian McKellen, and he gave me my key to my room.
That's the only way
So
in.
I have to carry this thing everywhere I go, just to prove...
Doesn't fit nicely in the wallet, I wouldn't think. Let's talk about the movie. This is it's an interesting story. James Whale directed in the 30s Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, Invisible Man.
That's right.
Terrific director who then was ostracized by the film community, I guess.
Well, he was English, and he made about 15 movies, and he was the highest paid director in Hollywood, and very, very successful. And then he retired. I don't think he was thrown out by Hollywood. I think he just got tired of the way it was changing. The studios were no longer family concerns. They were run by New York bankers and so on. And so he just got out and retired. And this is about the last few weeks of his life when he's had a stroke. And for the first time in his life, he's unhappy. For the first time in his life, can't read, can't write, can't paint, can't communicate properly with people. And you go back over his life and see his relationship with Brendan Fraser. Do you know Brendan?
Yes, we've had Brendan on the show.
Oh, yeah. What a guy. So, and it's based really on their friendship and the confusions of their friendship, and ends rather tragically, but fairly happily.
Well, let's take a look at this clip. I don't know if it needs explanation, but...
I think it's Brendan and me sharing a cigar at the end of a meal.
Take a look.
Not sharing.
Have you ever been married, Mr. Whale?
No. Well, not in the legal sense.
What other sense is there?
Well, one can live as husband and wife without getting the law involved.
So then you did have a wife?
Or a husband, depending on which of us you asked. My friend David lived here for many years. Does that surprise you?
No. You're a homosexual.
If one must use a clinical name.
It's a great scene. Gods and Monsters, of course, is in theaters right now, and really, best of luck. Best of luck to you at the Oscars. It's really, and thank you so much for stopping by.
No,
it's really great to meet you. Sir Ian McKellen, everybody. Julianne Lewis is coming up in a bit. We'll take a break.